Are you on the hunt for some great nachos this summer?
Nacho, Nacho, Nacho! Look no farther than the specialty Nacho Queen. She offers all kinds of different takes on the traditional nachos with her delectable specials, along with salads, soups, sandwiches, and more.
For amazing, locally sourced, non-GMO, gluten-free, vegetarian, and vegan options, find the Nacho Queen every Saturday at the Kenosha Public Market and find the Queen on Facebook for more event info. Hey, you out there, if you're in the market to sell or buy a home, make your next move with Next Home Refined.
This local real estate brokerage specializes in humans over houses. They focus on the main part of the real estate transaction, and that's the people.
Contact Minnie Samuel at 262-960-0468 or Minnie's, MINIS.smarthomeprice.com to start your real estate adventure.
That's Next Home Refined. Are you suffering from pain, migraines, PTSD, anxiety, grief, or stress?
Well, then visit Laura Cox of Acupuncture Integrative Health, 3917 47th Avenue for excellent care in the form of natural, functional, and traditional Chinese medicine.
Visit AccuWellWI.com so you can
live well, choose well, and be well. You're really going to want to check out this episode of the Ktown Connects podcast when we turn the page with the lovely Brandy Cummings of the Kenosha Public Library. Cue that music.
Hello there, and welcome to Ktown Connects. I'm your host, Donnie Stancato.
And I'm Jason Hedman.
That's not true.
Oh, we're being silly here. Brandy's just got us all in a crazy fun mood today.
Where are we at, Donnie?
We are here at Luigi's Pizza Kitchen. They're located at 7531 39th Avenue. They're open Tuesday through Sunday, so give them a call at 262-694-6565. Check out their full menu and order online at luigispizzakenosha.com.
Oh, and get this.
What?
Dining room is now open.
Oh, my goodness. Come in,
First
dine
time
in.
since 2020. Dining room's back open. You can come on in, dine in, Tuesdays through Sundays. Don't come on Mondays if we're here recording.
Right. You come in to dine in at Luigi's, look for the special Ktown Connects table.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And say, hey, I listened to the show. Can I get 10% off my bill? See what happens.
Doesn't hurt to ask. Or for free, actually.
Well, yeah, free. Yeah.
Hey, I listened to the show. Shouldn't I eat for free?
Yeah. Exactly. If you sit at the Ktown Connects table.
So you have to find a table.
You have to
sit
find
there, and then
the table that has the Ktown Connects sticker on it.
All right. Okay, that sounds great.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay.
Want to give a special thanks to Dropping Daisies for that awesome theme song. That was a rocker, huh, Brandy?
It's so good.
Yeah,
oh, my
great
goodness.
Songs by
Thank
Dropping
you, Dropping
Daisies. They're around here in Kenosha. You can check them out. It's number one in our hearts.
And number one on the charts, baby.
What charts?
The Donnie Stancato charts. Number one. Still.
That is high praise.
Is it 3 years now? I think it's the number one.
And don't forget, you can also show your support for Ktown Connects by getting your very own merchandise.
Ooh.
That's from the Lettering Machine in downtown Kenosha. We got t-shirts, sweatshirts, beanies, koozies, and more. And we got new stuff coming, too.
Yes, we do.
We sure do. You can find that quick link at ktownconnects.com.
Also, look for the Ktown Connects podcast on Spectrum Channel 14 and the Kenosha Community Media streaming channel on the Roku box every Wednesday at 11 a.m. and Saturday at 5 p.m.
Sundays
Look, Mom,
at 5 p.m.
Sunday. Look, Mom, I'm on TV.
We also give a shout out to our Patreon supporter of the week, and that is Anna. Thank you, Anna, for joining the after party at patreon.com. Anna and all of our Patreon supporters get this, Donnie.
What?
They get early access to each episode.
What?
They get a bonus material and the critically acclaimed bonus show, It Is What It Is.
Critically acclaimed?
That's what it says here, critically acclaimed.
I didn't write those show notes.
Okay. I don't know who the critic is.
I am.
Okay. Plus, so much more.
Wow.
So much more.
Just subscribe as low. And how low is this price?
Okay, get this.
No.
They start as low as $2 a month.
$2 a month?
You can go up to $10 million, but it starts at 2.
Wow, that's
$2
it?
a month.
You can't find anything for $2 nowadays.
No, it's more than or less than a cup of coffee.
Yeah, wow.
So you can find that quick link at ktownconnects.com. Well, let's check our website in a while. Make sure it's still running.
No, I did. I checked it out.
Okay, good.
It's still up. It's still running. The links are all still working. I checked it out this weekend.
Good.
Also, don't forget to follow the Ktown Connects podcast on all your social media outlets, including Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. Drop us a review on Facebook or on your favorite podcast provider and help us spread the word about the hottest podcast in town. And what podcast is that, Jason?
The Ktown Connects podcast?
Bingo,
Hey,
bango. Right. You nailed it there.
Ooh, lucky guess.
Wow, we got that out of the way pretty quick. Time for Brandy to leave now.
Thanks so much for having me. It's been great.
Yes,
Appreciate it.
Yes, it's been a long time coming for you to be on the show. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right, Brandy, we're going to just kind of get to know you in this first segment.
So, Brandy, as a kid, what was the first book you really remember falling in love with?
Oh, man, that's a huge question. Maniac, Mcgee by Jerry Spinelli, which is, if you're not familiar, a story about a young boy who leaves his home, lives in a very segregated town, and we kind of follow his adventure of running away, finding himself, making new community. Okay. And throughout all of that, he wins a challenge at a local pizza place that involves untying this old knot. It's full of all sorts of things. There's action, there's love story, there's a little bit of family drama in there for you.
What brought you to that? What brought you to say, hey, that this is it. I love this.
Yeah, so I picked it up at some random like gas station as a kid. So grew up as a Navy brat. My dad we moved around quite a bit till we ended up here in Kenosha in 94.
Oh, okay.
So I still don't say I'm from Kenosha because I was not, 1, born here, or 2, I am not Italian. So I feel like I can't claim it, but I've been here since the mid-90s. And
You must have been pretty young then.
yeah.
So.
Yeah.
So pretty much you've been here longer than you haven't?
Correct.
Oh,
yes.
so you could say, I'm a Kenosha.
Yeah, it still feels like I can.
Wow.
Yeah, but it's okay.
Hey, you're on the Ktown Connects podcast
I
now.
know. I feel like
So
this
you
gives
are.
me more cred.
Yes.
This gives me a little bit more cred to be able to say I'm
does.
from here, for sure. Thank you for helping me achieve that.
Yes.
So how old were you when you first came to Kenosha?
94, so 10.
10? Okay.
Oh, okay.
We used to come up to visit when we lived in Virginia Beach. We would come up here for summer vacations, and I was very angry at my parents for that for a long time.
For vacation, you come here?
From Virginia Beach, on the ocean.
Taking away from your friends on the ocean.
Yeah, to Kenosha.
Why did they pick Kenosha? They have family over there?
Yep, my dad's family's from here.
Okay.
So
Now it
this is
makes
where all
sense.
the aunts and
Because
cousins.
otherwise it would have been really weird.
Yeah, it was very strange. So he was transitioning out of the Navy. We ended up here because that's where his family's from, and he grew up majorly here. And the plan was to be here for a couple years, and next thing you know, it's 2022. So
Wow.
yeah,
Did you ever think about moving out?
yeah. I left for college. Went to college in Chicago. Lived in the suburbs for a few years. Came back, bought a house. Here I am.
Boom.
Started working at the library. So,
Wow.
yeah.
We'll get to that. In a little
Yeah. Being, daughter of someone in the Navy, how did that affect your life? Like you were all over the place, or you're just?
We moved a lot, and that really, I think it's a big part of why I enjoy meeting people so much, and I get a lot of energy from talking to different types of people. I love to people watch.
Who doesn't?
I know, it's the best.
Yeah.
It's the best. But also it's given me that natural curiosity that I've really clung to my whole life. It's made me very much an adventurer and a wanderer. Like I love to go to a new city and just kind of observe and get to know it. But it's, that's why I fell in love with books, because no matter where I was going, that person was the same. So I might not have, that teacher who I was connected with or a group of friends right away, but I had these characters and these stories. And so I found a lot of solace in that as a kid.
So you had like a big love of books from a young age then.
Oh yeah. My parents read to me from a very young age. I was very precocious as a child. Once you spend a little more time with me, you'll realize that hasn't changed much. And I attribute all of that to a love of reading.
Yeah, okay. So you come to Kenosha, you're 10 years old. What side of town did you guys live in?
We lived off of Sheridan and 71st.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so right near the cemetery. Went to Southport Elementary School. Go Sabres. I remember being very confused when I first moved up here because we I'd never seen snow.
Oh.
What?
Until I was like in my 10, 11 years old.
Yeah.
I remember walking to school the first day with the neighborhood kids, and they're all in like shorts and tank tops because it's like 65, and I'm in like pants and a jacket. I'm like, this is awful. Why would you bring me here? And now I'm like the rest of us where I'm like, hey, it's 55 today. I'm going to break out the flip-flops.
Yep.
Yeah,
On the sales
for
on
real.
today.
What was it like when you first saw snow, though? I mean, I always want to ask somebody, like I've just grown up by knowing what snow is.
Terrifying.
Like, probably you've just seen it in movies before you
Right.
saw it in real
Well,
life.
you're aware of what snow
Right,
is.
yeah.
But it's different when you're actually holding it and touching it.
Right.
It's cold and,
And we
wet.
would we would get a little bit in Virginia Beach every now and then, but
Nothing
like
to make a snowman or
2
something,
inches
right?
would shut down the city because they have like one plow for the whole metropolitan area, right? The first time we had to shovel snow, I remember like sitting down with my dad and explaining what child labor was. I'm like, this is not okay. If I had access to PowerPoint back then, I would have had a whole presentation. I just know it. I was very upset.
Yeah, shoveling's the worst.
I still don't do well with being cold.
Yeah.
I'm not good at being
don't
cold.
like
It makes
either.
me cranky.
Yeah. So what were you like in high school?
Oh my gosh. I was smart and funny and very easily manipulated to take up causes for people.
Oh, boy.
So
Were you a trapper?
no, so Lakeview. I
Oh,
was
Lakeview,
part of the
yeah.
first class to go all 4 years at Lakeview. So I
Wow.
started in 98, and our poor principal, who only lasted half of our first year, bless his heart, had a lot on his
Are
hands.
you still with us? Or?
He's on this earth, but
Oh, okay.
he very quickly left Lakeview, as a lot of educators did back then. We were a rowdy bunch, but I was that girl that floated between all the groups. I was really into music and really into activism. Still really focused on like how do I help other people. So it was really great to.
What was one of your first like big causes you took on that you really that really got passionate about?
Feminism.
Yeah.
Yeah. First and foremost, that was like the thing that ignited the fire in me, realizing that there was a big difference in how I was being treated, compared to my male counterparts and what that meant for other people. And then race is always been a huge one with me. My family is very blended. And so, when we first moved to Wisconsin, my mother's Puerto Rican. I tan a lot because I am part Puerto Rican. And I remember that being one of the first things the neighborhood kids like asked me, like, what race are you?
Oh.
And I was like, I don't know. I'm 10. I got a pool. I don't know. What are you talking about? So once I learned more about that definitely became a big issue for me and continues to be.
Okay. What was your first job?
Arby's.
Ooh.
Yeah. On the interstate.
Oh, the interstate.
Yes.
Wow.
I-94 store. To this day, my handwriting is still on some of their paperwork in the back. I happen to still know the
I thought you were going to
managers.
say in the bathroom stall.
No.
Is it still in Arby's?
Still at our, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yep, right over there, across from the Quick Trip now. And by the Best Western.
Oh, yes, yes.
I used to be the recorded voice for many years after I left, and you would pull up to their drive-thru.
Really?
So you would hear me say, "Thanks for stopping at Arby's. Could I interest you in a combo meal today?"
Did they pay you extra to keep
No.
that on there?
No.
Oh, I would have sued them. I would have
know.
tried to sue them.
When I moved back, I stopped over there, and my voice was still on there, and it was really creepy. To like hear yourself and be like, "I haven't been in that building for years."
I'm sure they just leave it until
Right,
the machine
yeah.
breaks.
Yeah, why change it, right?
Did you like working at Arby's?
Yes and no. I hated smelling like curly fries.
They have the best curly fries. Well, you probably hate them because you worked there.
Yeah,
right?
it took me years to go back to eating at Arby's, not because of the quality of the food by any means,
Well,
but
you probably-
100% because you're surrounded all the
Right.
time.
You probably had your fill of it.
Oh my
you know.
gosh, you smelt like curly fries and grease all the time. It just wasn't.
So were you a young driver or did you,
No, I didn't drive till I was 18.
oh, okay. So you had your family
So-
bringing you back and forth?
I did a lot of walking. I did a lot of
It's a long walk out the interstate.
It is. My parents will not be happy that I continue to tell these stories because it paints them in a bad light. The year I was supposed to take driver's ed in high school, a friend of mine was in an accident involving a semi, and I decided that I was not ready to drive.
Oh.
And so I took no driver's ed, failed my first driving test, nailed it on the second try.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Cool. So you just walk up to... your job at Arby's?
Yeah, I would walk often.
How early did you have to leave?
It's like an hour. I lived over by Curtis Strange at this point.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it wasn't
So you weren't
as
down on
bad.
that.
Yeah, it wasn't down by the lake. So we moved to that area because I went to McKinley Junior High.
Okay.
Southport Elementary, McKinley Junior High, Lakeview Bradford, then Lakeview Trumper.
It still seems pretty far to me.
I mean, it was absolutely foolish.
So you would walk home too?
No, I would usually catch a ride
you
with
could
one of our
drive somebody,
managers.
yeah.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah.
I would have came to pick you up.
Oh, if
If I would
only
have known you back then.
young Brandy knew young Donnie. I don't know. After hearing about your rave stories, I don't know if I I might be calling Jason for rides.
So after graduation, what was your plans? I mean, you weren't going to be at Arby's forever. Do you have any ideas? Do you have college aspirations, anything like that?
Yeah. So my original plan was to buy a Volkswagen bus and travel and make friends in different states so I could shower in their showers and camp in their driveways. And that didn't work out for me, surprisingly.
I had that same dream as well.
Right? We'll just be vagabonds, right?
Yeah, that'd be fun.
No, I ended up going to, so in high school, I really got into youth group. And that became sort of my rebellious second act of high school was I was looking for something that made me feel comfortable and safe in a world that, I mean, think about us, 98 to 2002 high school. We have Columbine, we have 9/11. There's a lot of big, scary things that my childhood psyche was not ready to deal with. So I dove headfirst into religion and actually ended up going to a discipleship training program in the Chicago suburbs for a couple years. And that's where I ended up meeting my wife, oddly enough.
Wow.
Yeah, so definitely a different path that I'm on now, but really grateful for those opportunities.
Yeah, it all happened for a reason,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
Can't rewrite it. It happened. It's great.
Yeah, great opportunities to meet some of my best friends in those situations. So, yeah, it's been really beneficial to my life.
I like that.
So you met her, and then you decided you'd bring her back to Kenosha then? Is that what was the plan?
So she at the time was living in Elgin. She moved back home by her family in Dixon, Illinois. Birthplace of Ronald Reagan.
The actor?
Yes, the actor. Oddly enough, also
Back
the
to the
birthplace
Future reference.
I know. You'll say, the actor?
The gentleman who started Walgreens is also from Dixon, Illinois.
Really?
Yeah. And for years, the Walgreens in Dixon was the only one that sold alcohol.
Wow.
Fun fact. So we lived there for a while, and then I moved back to Kenosha in 2008.
Oh, okay.
So moved back.
What made you come back to Kenosha?
We broke up.
Okay.
Yeah, she made some bad life choices, mostly by saying like, "Oh, we should explore life," and I was like, "No,"
Yeah.
But it obviously worked out for the best since she's my wife. But moved home to be by mom and dad and by family and figure out what I wanted to do next. Had just finished my degree in nonprofit business management. Enrolled in the paralegal studies course at Carthage. Started working for the library thinking that, hey, this will hold me over till I get back into Chicagoland. I wanted to work with immigration law. Fun fact.
You had a lot of stuff that you wanted to accomplish.
Yeah. Lots of things that I've wanted to accomplish.
You had a lot of goals. I like that.
That's firstborn and a Virgo
Well,
through and through. Very
you shoot for a lot of things, you're going to catch some of them.
Yeah.
That's what I say when I try to pick up chicks.
You're like, okay, if I try 10.
Yeah, one's got to
numbers
say
game.
yes, right? Yeah. It's like baseball.
Yeah.
All right, I think with that, we're going to take our first break. We'll be right back talking more with Brandy and about the Kenosha Public Library.
For world-famous pizza, sandwiches, wraps, salads, and more, stop down at Kaiser's Pizza and Pub, 510 57th Street.
Go with one of their classic specialty thin crusts or order the unofficial Ktown Connect special. That's the double-decker veggie.
Don't forget the apps!
Ask about their weekday dine-in specials.
Or place your carryout or delivery order at kaisersofkenosha.com and check out their special online offers.
That's Kaiser's Pizza and Pub, located in the heart of downtown Kenosha.
LaMacchia Travel, 618 55th Street, has served Kenosha for over 90 years.
And with that rich history, you can expect the very best in customer service and care to ensure that your next vacation will be one to remember for all the best reasons.
Stop on in or visit their website, LaMacchiaTravel.com, to plan your next getaway.
Get out of here.
And we're back from that break.
And what a break it was.
And we're here with Brandy Cummings from the Kenosha Public Library. Just kind of getting to know you. We're going to kind of dive a little deeper now and talk about the library.
It's my favorite thing to talk about.
Yeah. So we were kind of talking earlier. What made you apply to work at the library? So many. You've been there 15 years now, something like
14
that?
on December 1st. Yeah.
Wow.
I know.
Wow. So when you applied there, was it just, I need a job or?
It's actually my third time applying for the library.
Oh.
And I had been interviewed the other 2 times, but the first time I was leaving on a trip to Greece, and so I couldn't start when they wanted me to start, so I turned down the job. That would have been my first job if I played my cards right. The second time I was moving to Chicago for school. And then this third time, I was just looking for something to work at that wasn't restaurant or retail, to get me through finishing my paralegal degree.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You just kind of got sucked in then, huh?
Yeah. What's kept me is probably the more interesting thing. So, public libraries are like a really subversive way to redistribute power. And
Hi.
I know, like people, when I start talking about that, like, no, they're not. Or you go to get like, Daniel Steele books. I'm like, nah, it's all about like equity and,
Right.
empowering the people. So that's what's kept me around. And
How so?
So libraries are one of the last few places with no barrier to access. You don't have to buy something to be there. There's no requirements. You don't have to have a certain income or a certain education level to gain access to the same things that everyone has access to. We also recognize that not everyone has these same benefits or privileges in our communities, let alone our society. And libraries can redistribute some of that by either helping bridge digital divides or providing people with access to education or technology that they wouldn't otherwise be able to organically get on their own.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
How has it evolved over the years? Because it used to be books, and now it can't just be books. It has to be much more.
So much more. Libraries have really changed into a bit of a community center. So pre-pandemic, I wrote an op-ed for the news talking about how libraries are on the forefront of fighting the social isolation epidemic, which we're still facing as a society, right? Our goal is really to empower people and strengthen our neighborhoods by bringing them together. And a lot of that happens with our events, with different ways for people to come together with shared interests, whether they're learning something new, whether they're discovering an idea or a culture they've never had experience with before, or if they're looking for resources, whether that be our technology like our computers or the books on our shelves.
Okay.
Those DVDs.
Oh my gosh, DVDs.
Yeah. A lot of people rent those DVDs.
They do.
Right? Yeah.
They do. What's great is we get them the same day the stores do.
Yeah.
So if you're buying it at Walmart or buying it on Amazon, your library also has it.
Oh.
That's a really fun
So you got
thing.
new releases then in movies.
We do.
It's not just like old stuff.
Oh, no.
So pretty much
No.
like the updated video store.
We are.
It's the best thing you have.
Yeah.
So when you first started at the library, what was your position there? Because you've been there, you're the head honcho pretty much there now.
That's a great misconception because I talk so much, but I'm like tier 3.
Okay.
But I started in customer service. So it was my job to check people in and out when they came up to the library. I'm hired for 13 hours a week before pre-act 10. So I would just scoop up everyone's hours because I was young and excited to work. Did a stint on the bookmobile for a little bit. When our current director, Barb Bratton, came in, I moved into a position in administration. And then we realized she very quickly hired a graphic designer because the library did not have one. This was 2014.
Wow.
Very shortly after that, we're like, we need a marketer. And I was finishing up another degree in marketing. And so I moved into that position. And then just this last May, I moved into the position I'm in now, which is head of community partnerships and programs, where I work on connecting the community to our resources, but also making sure that we're best representing our community with what we invest in.
You're just going right up the ladder.
I know. If I get that master in library science, I can climb to the top. But until then.
When you first started there, did you think this was going to be your career?
No, not at all. I definitely imagined that I'd be here for 1-2 years tops. I had plans to move back to Chicagoland, really wanted to get involved with immigration law. At that time, we were seeing a lot of refugees coming in from East Africa, and I wanted to help find placements and get resources to people. And you start working there and,
Just fell in love, right?
Yeah. Well, you see the impact that it makes in a lot of families. You see the Storytime kids grow up, which is absolutely heartwarming and amazing. But also there's, a group of senior citizens that I talk to every day, and I'm the only person outside of their, apartment neighbors that they talk to. And that that has a real impact and a real value in our community.
You're brightening up people's lives there. I mean, really, that's what the library is there for.
Absolutely.
Really. People can get lost in a book. They can get lost in conversation, silent conversation at the library with you or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing great work there. You're
Thank you.
the spokeswoman
Yes,
for the library.
that's why
You
people
really
assume
are.
I'm in charge, because I get paid to talk. And I talk a lot. So, and I'm so connected to this community that I'm at a lot of things. I'm very invested in the health and the success of Kenosha. And so that's just a wonderful opportunity to be in the position I'm in.
Yeah. Now, the library has so much more than just, books and the multimedia sources. You do programs for people of all ages.
Yeah.
From, little kids to senior citizens. Can you talk about some of the upcoming fall events you have going on there?
Yeah, absolutely. So we just launched our fall calendar. You can find it on our website at mykpl.info. All of our events are free and open to the public, which is also really exciting. So there's no barrier for cost there. We have a Packers historian joining us.
What?
I know. As someone who's not a Packers fan, I did this for you, Kenosha. This is my love letter to you. Go Bears. But I know. Chicago, I told you. I picked
Hey,
Chicago.
I mean, it happens.
So that's going to be a very exciting one.
Yeah.
We have so many amazing things coming up for families. We'll be at the Hispanic Heritage Festival this upcoming weekend, September 17th and 18th, with our bookmobile, getting people signed up for library cards, introducing them to our multilingual collection. We have some more NASA programming coming up. So we've been partnering with Carthage and their NASA space program, but also NASA at My Library as one of their beta testers for different moon rock programs.
Wow.
Yeah, it's really cool. There's something for everyone at the library. And if you don't find something, we're here to hear that.
And
so you can let me know.
You're at the Southwest Branch, which is on 79th and 80th, about there, right around there.
Yep.
Just off 80th. And, but we have 3 other branches here in town.
We do.
We have the original Simmons downtown, the North Side, which has housed many events as well.
Yep.
But tell us about the Uptown Branch. What is up with that?
Yeah, there's
place?
got to be some changes coming soon with all this stuff the mayor wants to do over there.
Absolutely. So the Uptown Branch is probably my favorite aesthetically because it looks like a little house.
Yeah.
I love it so much. So it's about 2,000 square feet. The upstairs 1,000 square feet hosts our library space, and then we are the landlords for our friends at the Kenosha Literacy Council, who have the whole basement for their program.
Okay.
So that space is very well used for how tiny it is.
Yeah.
And we are actually part of the new development that's happening on the 22nd Avenue corridor for the Uptown Lofts. So we're building a children's library right in the middle of that. So it'll be grocery store, restaurant, children's library, apartments above.
Oh, great.
Super
That's
excited.
awesome.
Yeah, super excited. The only one in our state that is dedicated just to children.
Yeah.
And it really gives us an opportunity to create more of those experiential learning environments. We know that kids learn in a variety of ways. But we also know that the last few years, they have not been shielded from the same trauma the adults have seen between both the pandemic and the unrest. So giving them a space that's really a love letter that says we believe in you and we're excited for your future and we're excited for you to create.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
It's very exciting. We're just getting into launching all of that.
You're doing great things over there, Brandy.
Thank
great
you.
things. Now, here's a personal question for you.
Of course.
I rented an O.J. Simpson book back in 1996, and I never returned it. I had a huge fine, and somehow it magically got it's gone. Mm-hmm. What happened there? Did they just he's never going to pay it, we'll get rid of it? I never returned the book. I lost it.
Elves, magic. Done.
Wow.
It's all
Was that
magic.
you, Brandy?
It was me. No, I wish I could take credit for that. But
Yeah, an O.J. Simpson book. I don't know. I wanted to learn more about the case. I don't know why I had it.
So we try to be as forgiving as possible. We know that items get lost, people move, life events happen. So we do ask you to bring your materials back. Usually you're only charged your late fee, which stops at $5. We cap it there for you.
Very nice.
Yeah. We're working towards being fine free. All of our children's material, books and magazines, are all fine free right now. So that was a big step we took about 4 years ago. To really help parents out. If you don't have children at home or you're not involved with children's books, you may not realize how very thin they are and how easy they are to misplace.
My son punches his books like crazy.
Yeah.
He just likes the sound. He punches. I've been through 1 million books because he just rips them all.
Yeah. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend bringing him library books.
I'll wait a couple more years. Couple more years, I'll bring him in.
But you should check out our book sales from the
Yes,
Friends of the Library.
yes,
You can
I
buy
will.
wonderful materials.
I like that.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't have to worry about that fine ever popping back up
No.
because I had to get a new library card when I started renting
See?
equipment from Kenosha Community Media there.
Yeah.
You should have had a library card already anyway.
I know.
should.
I was just, I
have mine.
I was scared that I had a
Yeah.
huge, like,
Well,
$5,000.
And that happens for a lot
Mm-hmm.
of people because there are libraries who are still very punitive because they think that's the only way to get stuff back.
Right.
We're really lucky in this community to have a director who really centers kindness at the heart of our philosophy,
It's hard
our
to
service.
find nowadays, too.
Yeah, service ethos there. And really, if anyone's listening to this and you feel like Donnie and you're like, oh man, I have such huge fines, come in and talk to us.
Yeah.
We want you back more than we care about that money.
Oh.
And so that's what's important to us is making sure that you don't have a barrier to whatever you may need, whether it's stuff for your kids, equipment from our library of things, whether you're renting material from the Kenosha Community Media, or you're checking out our drones or snowshoes or ghost hunting kits that we
Wait,
have.
drones?
Yeah. We have it all.
What?
Yeah.
I didn't know this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, ghost hunting?
Yes.
What?
We have a whole ghost hunting set, 2 of them actually.
Like a proton pack from Ghostbusters?
It's very close.
Oh.
It's very close.
Donnie, we have to go ghost hunting.
Yeah.
So we've had some people use it at the Simmons Library because we have coming up in October again this year, Haunted Simmons. Many people believe that building to be haunted and they wanted to be able to search for themselves. So we said, we'll buy that for you. You can check it out from us.
Wow.
Yeah. Just got to bring the stuff back, my friend.
Right.
Just got to bring it
Don't
back.
be like me with the
Don't
O.J.
be like
Simpson
Donnie.
book.
Yeah.
No.
Well, then if we bring it back, we can see what else they have that we can borrow.
True. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. I've learned so much about the library. You have so much knowledge.
We take that ever evolving part of our mission statement maybe a bit too seriously at times. There's always something new for you to find there.
All right. Well, you can visit the Kenosha Public Library. Visit Brandy at the Southside location, 7979 39th Avenue. For more, you can go to mykpl.info on the website. And also, you guys have an app?
We do for both Android and smartphone.
Wow.
What's great too is it carries your library card with you. So if you are not someone who likes to have a bunch of cards in your wallet, you can now scan right from the friendly familiarity of your phone.
Wow.
I hate having crap in my wallet.
Right.
Yeah, me too, because I want to get one of those front wallets in my front pocket one of these
You're so
days.
hip, Donnie.
But I haven't yet. I don't want it to take away from my bulge.
I'm sure it's not the library card. That's
You're right.
affecting it.
It's those 5 tube socks I have.
The library card's so comparable, so that's kind of hard to.
All right, with that, let's take our second break, and we'll be back. Every Friday, get on down to Union Park Tavern, 4520 8th Avenue, for their famous fish fry, voted best in Kenosha for the last decade.
But that's not all. Union Park Tavern serves up great food every day, including their 9 a.m. weekend brunches.
And if you enjoy live music like we do, they got you covered there as well. Live music every Friday and Saturday night.
Be sure to check out that beer garden. That's Union Park Tavern, 4520 8th Avenue.
Honk, honk!
Looking for a new car?
Stop on by CarBox, 1750 22nd Avenue.
Scott and his awesome team will go put you in the car of your dreams. They offer great vehicles for all family types.
They have the deals you want and need.
Honk honk, visit CarBox, 1750 22nd Avenue.
Honk, honk! Wow, Jason, your hair looks fantastic.
Thanks, Donnie. I got a cut from Trish at Faded Barbershop for Men, 2227 63rd Street.
They offer many different services, including shaves, waxing, and that good old-fashioned haircut.
Follow their Facebook page to schedule your next hair-raising experience.
That's Faded Barbershop for Men, 2227 63rd Street. And we're back.
We are back, Donnie. Back to Ktown Connects.
Yeah, the Ktown Connects podcast. It's the #1 local podcast.
Well, who says that?
I just did. And Brandy just told
It
me
must
off
be
the air,
true.
like, this is the best podcast I've ever been on.
I was recording and listening.
I believe I said it was the best podcast not made by the Kenosha Public Library.
There you go.
Oh.
You're right. You're right. That's a great podcast you guys
Yes,
have there
cruising,
as well.
cruising through history.
Yes.
You can
Yes.
read it.
Oh, yes. Fantastic.
And it's not just Kenosha history. It does like all kinds of world history and things
Yeah,
like that. I was listening to
anything-
the Teddy Roosevelt episode. It's great.
Isn't it fascinating?
Yeah.
Scott and Xander do such a great job with that.
Yeah, it's a good show. Good show.
What time is it, though? It's time for
Oh,
Kenosha Connects.
That's right, Donnie. Coach Connects is brought to you by Lucci's Grandview. Hey, are you thirsty?
Oh, yeah.
Well, get on down to Lucci's Grandview, 6929 39th Avenue, and grab yourself a cold drink and some good old conversation. This family-owned bar will serve some great memories. Follow them on Facebook for their great upcoming events and specials.
Yeah, and Stu the Piano Guy is back every Thursday for many months.
No way.
Yeah, Stu the Piano Guy on Thursday nights at Lucci's
Does he
Grandview.
do the piano jams?
Yeah.
That guy, Stu?
Yeah, Stu.
My neighbor, Stu?
No, Stu the Piano Guy.
Oh.
So check that out.
Okay.
Lucci's Grandview. All right, you ready for some Kenosha Canucks,
As
Brandy?
ready as I can be.
All righty. What was the last great meal you had in Kenosha?
Oh my goodness gracious, this is going to put me on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
Probably pizza from Tenuta. Sorry, Luigi's.
Ooh, that's quite
What's
all
your
right.
last great one? It could, not your...
Yeah, not forever.
Not forever.
Yeah.
It's the most recent one. So.
Yeah, but we got
It was on 52nd or 60th Avenue.
60th Ave.
So
Oh, the
good.
pizzeria.
Yeah, the pizzeria. So good.
Yeah, that's a great place. I always say this when people bring it up. Their eggplant fries are to die for. You can't find those in too many places
No.
around town. Yeah, big eggplant fan.
Okay, all right.
But it's not about me. It's about you, Brandy. I'm so
Fair
sorry.
enough. No, I also love eggplant, so good to know.
I'm more of a zucchini guy.
I love zucchini
I
too.
love
It's all
zucchini,
good.
too.
All right, Brandy, where in Kenosha would you recommend someone go for their first date?
Ooh, that's a fun one. Outside of our amazing museums or the Anderson Art Center. Actually, the Anderson Art Center might be my answer. It's kind of my favorite place in Kenosha.
All right.
Yeah, I love the fact that you're like walking through an old house.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
cool.
it's fascinating to just be there, but also you're right by the lake.
And it
Gorgeous.
feels like an old house, too.
Yeah, that's what's so
A
wonderful.
mansion, but... Yeah,
And it's
yeah.
haunted, right?
I'm sure.
We're at the-
What
You
is
have
it?
to rent
Get
that
the ghost
equipment
hunting
and go.
kit.
Yeah,
We're doing that.
We should do a live podcast with the equipment.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you
Yeah. I like
Yeah.
that. I like that.
We're,
All
we're
right.
doing that.
Favorite
Might be just for
Kenosha.
Patreon people, though.
Right, yeah. Nobody's going to want to listen to that. All right, Brandy, favorite Kenosha event
Oh my gosh! Wow.
besides the ones that you throw at
Yes,
the library?
fair. I will not name all of the wonderful 225 programs that we average a month at the Kenosha Public Library. I am a really big fan of church festival season.
Ooh, who is
And I cannot pick just one because I would fear for my life.
Oh.
But if I had to, it'd be St. Therese.
Oh my God! You brought up St. Brandy. That was one of the last times I saw you. You
I
were
know.
serving me my White Claws.
I sling beer at St. Therese Festival every year. My friend helps the church run it. And
I was like, oh man,
Is St.
Brandy's-
Therese at the 91st Street one?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was like, oh man, I know Brandy. I know I got a tip real good.
Yeah,
And I was
I
like, Brandy, put this in your pocket. She's like, no, it goes to the church.
it all
I was
goes
like,
to the
oh, okay.
church. I just get wrinkly fingers and broken nails from opening all the beer.
All right, Brandy, with this one. The best brunch in town.
Frank's Diner, through and through. I know. Don't get me wrong. I love a good, like, fancy brunch, and there's plenty of places for that. But I don't think you can beat the atmosphere at Frank's. Plus, anytime I can kind of piss Kevin off in the morning,
Yes.
makes me a little happy.
Yeah, yep.
I love Kevin so
I know.
much. He's such a big teddy bear.
That's the thing I
isn't he?
miss most about working downtown. So our administration office used to be downtown, and I'd get to see Kevin quite frequently. And I'm like, oh, now I see him like once a month. I know.
What's your favorite music festival in town?
Man, you guys, these questions are so much harder hitting than you expect when you're on this side of
You
it.
mentioned music, so I had to bring it up.
Yeah, no, I'm a big fan of peanut butter and jam.
Oh,
I always love to see
yeah,
what
thank
comes
you.
through. Yeah, really, really great.
That location on the harbor is so nice, too.
Yeah, well, what I really like is like the variety of who comes through and getting to like experience bands that I haven't come across before. Creative Space always has something great going on too.
Yeah.
Favorite museum in Kenosha? That's a tough one, right?
Yeah, don't tell Peggy. I'm definitely going. Anderson Art Museum, A#1. I guess technically it's an art center, which is different. But then Dinosaur. How can you beat the Dinosaur Museum, right?
Hold on, I just got a text from Chris Allen. He says you're canceled.
Chris Allen is our board member now at the Kenosha Public Library. And while I love the History Museum, and we work with the History Center quite frequently, dinosaurs, man.
Yeah, that's really cool. All right, Brandy. Which now closed Kenosha business do you wish you could bring back?
Oh my gosh. Do, 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 do. I don't know, because I feel like,
Common Grounds.
I mean, common grounds is yes. That feels like a really easy answer, but I'm actually going to go was it the Sunnyside Cafe that used to be on the corner where Starbucks is now?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember that
Yes.
diner?
Oh, yeah.
So
That logo was super cool there, too.
And they had one of those old school like dessert stands that spun and had all the different
love
pieces inside. Like I'm a big like diner fan. That's
75th and 39th here. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember that place. Cool.
All right. Favorite library in Kenosha? You have to pick one. Just pretend you don't work for the library.
That's hard. My favorite is absolutely the Uptown Library. I love all of our branches. We're very lucky to be nestled in the heart of many neighborhoods throughout Kenosha.
Is this rehearsed?
Are you reading
No,
that?
yeah, I tell you, I talk for a living. But the Uptown Library is just really charming, and because it's a historic building, we haven't changed much of the insides, which is really great. So you walk in and you still get a great fireplace and these beautiful like bench pews to sit on and gorgeous window work. It's just a really lovely small library right in the middle of a neighborhood.
I don't think I've ever been in the Uptown Library.
You know, I worked for the library for 4 years before I'd ever been in it. I'd be remiss if I didn't also say the bookmobiles. Our bookmobiles are top notch.
I've been to Simmons one twice this year, though. So
Yeah, you should check out Haunted Simmons. The tour is really cool.
Yeah, I want to do that.
It's a lot of fun. 2 weekends this year.
And I was in the bookmobile once this summer.
See?
It was hot. I just kind of walked through to get some air conditioning. But
You know, it's pretty great.
yeah, it's cool.
All right, last one. You ready?
As ready as I can be.
Big Star or The Spot?
Big Star for cheeseburgers, Spot for cheese cubes.
Ooh, okay.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you
yeah.
go. That's the right answer.
That is 100% like I'll die on that hill.
Yeah, that is the correct answer.
Well, that was our Kenosha Connects, and that was brought to you by Lucci's Grandview.
And what time is it now, Donnie?
Ding, ding, ding. It's trivia time. And trivia is brought to you by Frank Steiner. Frank Steiner is located at 508 58th Street and has been a Kenosha icon since 1926.
Wow.
This classic establishment offers a sassy service with scrumptious breakfast and lunches. Can you take on the garbage plate? Stop in at Frank's, open 7 days a week in beautiful downtown Kenosha. See more at franksteinerkenosha.com. Hi, Kevin. You ready for a little trivia?
Yeah, let's go.
do this.
All right, so we're putting you and Donnie against each other here.
I'm so nervous.
Not as nervous as me.
So, Brandy, you do work for the library, so you've grown up as a book lover.
Yeah.
So, but Donnie knows his books pretty good, though.
I know.
O.J.
This
Simpson
this
books.
is more intimidating than I was ready for.
So, for today's trivia, we're going to test your knowledge of classic books and their authors. I'm going to give you.
I'm gonna kill you,
I feel like you
Brandy.
are.
I'm going to give you 3 book titles, and you must name the author.
Oh, is it multiple choice?
No.
Oh,
I'll give
well,
you 3.
that's
Well,
good.
it's multiple questions. You get 3 book titles.
Okay, all right.
So, Brandy, we'll start with you. You're a guest first. So, Murder on the Orient Express, Death on the Nile, and The Mysterious Affair at Styles.
Oh, that would be the grandmother of the modern mystery, Miss Agatha Christie.
You are right. See, you know how to play this game. All right, so you're up 1-0. Best of 3
Oh
here.
boy, I'm cooked.
Donnie?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Fear No Evil. First to Die. 22 Seconds.
George Clooney.
Yeah, no. Can't even name an author.
I'm sure he's written something.
Yeah.
These are like best-selling authors. James Patterson.
That
was my second guess.
But I'm going to throw that out there. George Clooney very well could have ghost written that for James
Right.
Patterson. Dude puts out a book every 2 weeks.
yeah, I mean,
Sorry.
yeah. Thank you.
I'm a
Brandy.
Donnie fan. I don't want you to lose.
Thank you. I'm gonna lose.
All right, Brandy. Here's another one for you. The Old Man and the Sea. The Sun Also Rises. A Farewell to Arms.
Ooh, Hemingway.
Yeah, I knew that.
Do you know the
one.
first name?
Ernest.
Oh, there you go. See, that's so yeah, get you. Donnie would have got that one.
No, I my favorite movie is Midnight in Paris. I totally would
Oh,
have got that.
yes. Midnight in Paris is phenomenal.
Isn't it a great movie?
Well, I gave that to the right person then. Donnie, here's yours. This is a good one here.
Oh, I bet it is.
You should know this one. Beloved.
Uh-huh.
Song of Solomon. God Help the Child. Everyone knows who wrote Beloved. Come on.
Well, yeah, everybody. Jesus Christ.
It's like
I mean, close.
Right?
I would say that Toni Morrison is as close to Jesus Christ as
I mean, I should get half a point, right?
I'm sure I'll give you half a point. You're going to lose anyway. But.
I'll share my points with you, Donnie.
Thank you, Brandy.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
And Brandy, the last one for you. Joyland.
Oh, Stephen King.
Jeez. I was trying to pick like obscure Stephen King ones.
Yeah.
Gerald's Game, Bag of Bones.
Yeah, all really great.
Yeah.
Joyland, UW Parkside did a community read on it a few years ago.
Okay.
Otherwise, that one would have got, Gerald's Game. I would have got you there.
Donnie, last one for you.
You got it.
Yeah, you're right. I'm going to get this one.
Between the World and Me, The Water Dancer, We Were 8 Years in Power. Now, this is one of the biggest selling authors of the 21st century.
Donovan Shearer?
No. That's Ta-Nehisi Coates.
I knew that, but Donovan was on my mind because he's great. He's so local. I'm local.
You're all local. I should have done local authors and say you did that one.
Oh, yeah. I probably would have
Donovan, Dan Sticka.
I love Dan Sticka. He's got a nice lawn. Have you ever been to his place?
No, I haven't.
Oh my God, his lawn is, oh my God.
I'll see him tonight for the Friends of the Library meeting.
Edit this part out. It's weird. Thinking about some 80-year-old man.
Tell him, say, hey, I heard you have a really nice lawn.
Yeah, I'm like, hey.
Brandy, well, you won trivia. You win a Ktown Connects t-shirt courtesy of the Lettering Machine. The Lettering Machine is located at 725 50th Street. They can customize almost anything. Gifts, uniforms, school apparel, office attire, accessories, you name it, they can do it. Also, check out their online novelty shop at theletteringmachine.com as they have some awesome ready-made designs ready to go just for you.
Amazing, Donnie.
Thank you, Lettering Machine.
So I'd like to thank Brandy Cummings for being here today. She is the head of community programs and partnerships at the Kenosha Public Library. You can find their website online. You can Google Kenosha Library. You can go to mykpl.info.
Don't forget about that app
Get
either.
that app right on your phone. Library card
app.
right there on your phone. Get down and see what the library has for you.
Yeah, thank you so much, Brandy. That was so fun. Thanks you so much for
having
joining
me.
us.
What a great time.
Oh, thank you. Did you mean that?
I absolutely.
Oh, okay, perfect.
So
Oh.
we got to thank our sponsors one more time. That's Kaiser's Pizza,
Union Park Tavern,
CarBox,
Frank's Diner,
Minnie Samuel of Next Home Refined,
AccuWell Integrate Health, New Laura Cox Business,
Specialty Nacho Queen,
Lucci's Grandview,
LaMacchia Travel.
Faded Barbershop for Men. Hello, Boda and Trish. Do you even listen anymore?
Wow.
I'm curious.
It's kind of a dig.
There's some call-outs happening.
Yeah, maybe they didn't listen this far into it. Maybe they'll listen to the beginning.
Well, it's
maybe there comes a time where it's like thinking this much, like, okay, I'm done, turning it off. But don't forget about Wink Beauty Boutique,
The Lettering Machine,
Gerber's Gift Shop,
and of course, Luigi's Pizza Kitchen.
That's right, Donnie.
It's such a great show. It was amazing. I learned so much about the library.
But I got to ask you a question, Donnie. Please. What are we doing here?
You know what we're doing? We are connecting Kenosha.
That's right.
Bye.
Oh, I got to hit the button.
Kenosha, Kenosha, like great big busy